Good morning, Digit Fam, and speaking of the fam, welcome to the fam, Mr. Scott Adam Gordon. Scott filled in for Tristan today on the newsletter, and boy did he hit a home run with that headline. It gave me all the lols. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, you should visit digit.com and sign up for the newsletter. But for now, it is February 5th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. I think I owe my audience an apology. Maybe not a full-blown "I'm sorry I kicked your baby" apology, but more like an "I accidentally stepped on your toy and broke it" apology. It's a pantheon of apologetics is what I'm saying. Anyway, in 2018, when Huawei had to back out of a deal with AT&T that would finally put Huawei phones in US stores, I got all pissy about it. Huawei makes some really compelling hardware at great price points, and it seemed like the US... Okay, I'll say it. It seemed like the White House was sticking its nose in tech where it didn't belong. Yeah, as it turns out, not so much. It turns out that the US, Canada, Philippines, Germany, they might all be onto something. Huawei seems like not so nice a company, and not so nice like they'll put profit before consumers. Everybody does that. But I'm talking like not so nice like they'll lie, cheat, and steal to get ahead, and while on some level I respect that, most of me is like, nope. Let's get into it. Bloomberg reported a story about a startup company in Sweet Home Chicago. Actually, more like Sweet Home Gurnee, but whatever. Turns out a company named Acon Semiconductors had an idea. What if you could make a phone screen that was 10 times stronger and 6 times more scratch resistant than anything on the market today? Good idea, as it turns out. So good that Huawei was interested, and Huawei reached out to Adam Khan, the CEO of the company. Boy, there'd just be Adams all up in this Digit Daily, huh? Anyway, Huawei said, let's make a deal. So Khan sent Huawei's San Diego office a sample of the product with 2 rules attached to it. 1, don't let it leave the United States. 2, don't break it. So Huawei sent it back broken from China. Jesus, Huawei, you're not even trying to be subtle here. Long story short, Acon contacted the FBI and like, what's up with that? And the FBI's like, that's some bullshit. And Acon's like, yeah. And the FBI's like, let's go get him. So they set up a meeting at CES where they bugged the hell out of a room. Then Huawei said, let's go get burgers. And Acon's like, burgers sound great, let's do it. Just for the record, this is a 3,500 word piece from Bloomberg, so if it sounds like I'm paraphrasing and vastly oversimplifying, I am. So, Acon had this meeting at the burger joint, because that's where you have meetings like this, and they get enough info to allow the FBI to raid Huawei's San Diego offices later that month. And keep in mind, this is also the company that stole technology from T-Mobile and was indicted for it a few years ago. Bottom line, in this podcaster's opinion, Huawei is no bueno as a company, which is bad, and they're not even trying to hide it, which in some ways is worse. I've honestly lost a lot of respect for the company and will look at it sideways from now on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be worse. They could be GasBuddy. And I mean, at least GasBuddy was hiding behind terms of service. There was actually an attempt to get away with it in that case. Maybe, just maybe, Huawei has surpassed GasBuddy at the top of the list, even above Facebook. Nah, GasBuddy. What is for sure is that Huawei has joined GasBuddy and Facebook on my list of gross companies, and that makes me sad. But you know what always cheers me up? Heading into the roundup! And speaking of bastions of truth, justice, and the American way, Apple is allowing AT&T to put 5GE in the signal bar in the corner of the iPhone. What's 5GE, you may ask? Well, it's a good question because no one really knows. Basically, it's AT&T saying, we don't have 5G yet, but 4G is fast, and we're pretty sure you won't notice that this is only 4G 5G. And Apple is letting them do it. You don't have 5G, and you won't for a while. This is marketing BS, plain and simple. An FCC filing shows that the Galaxy S10 will probably have some reverse charging capability. Now, whether this is the stupid reverse wireless charging that some phones have, or a slightly more legitimate, though still mostly gimmicky wired charging remains to be seen. Look, I get it. In a pinch, it's better to have it and not need it. But let's just carry a plug or a battery, people, okay? This is not more convenient. Last December, the founder of a cryptocurrency exchange company passed away, which really sucks. But what also sucks is that he was the sole manager of about $140 million worth of cryptocurrencies, and apparently he didn't write his password down anywhere, which in some ways is commendable. But come on, guys. The Digit Daily is a newsletter and a podcast, and while they are extremely awesome and valuable, they are not $140 million, and even we have backups. Plan ahead, people. That's all I'm saying. Do you know why I don't invest in the stock market? It's because Google made $39.2 billion with a B dollars in Q4 of 2018, which is up 22% year over year. Google made $136 billion with a B dollars in 2018 total, and stock went down. Okay, now I get it. Google's costs are going up, while its chief revenue drivers, ads, are going down in price. But come on, folks, we're talking billions of dollars and 22% growth over last year, which is arguably not sustainable, and that's why I hate the stock market. Engadget says you shouldn't trust those medical articles you see shared on Facebook. A study recently showed that 70% of them contained information that was misleading or patently false. What I find quite ironic about all this is that I literally read an article on Engadget yesterday titled, quote, "Stem cell breakthrough could help cure type 1 diabetes." Of course, I didn't come across it on Facebook because I don't use Facebook anymore, so there is that. And finally, CNET gives us 6 ways to delete yourself from the internet.